Now, where's that lady talking about beets? Go look at my beets. And when you walk in there, I want you to examine them. And if you see something you like, you pull it.
That part of
Yes.
the garden, is that screen?
Oh, hi.
Okay. He wants to know. Baby, traduce el pro.
She's wondering when you cut
Oh.
trees.
Pruning.
Yes.
Lady's asking about pruning. I like to prune. Everybody listen to me. I like to prune in January when the trees are dormant. Here's why.
Okay.
It's convenient. In January, there's no lawn to mow, there's no garden to take care of, and there's no leaves in the trees, so they're very accessible. So it's called convenience. Now, all summer long, if you notice my trees, if you haven't paid attention, this is abnormal. All trees you see in orchard have tons of shoots going up out of the center. Mine have none. Because I walk out here all summer long, and when little ones show up, I rub them off when they're little. Here's why. Now this is hilarious. She's pointing. I want you to see this. You see this amount of growth? This is a dwarf tree, and this happened this year. This is not 1 year's growth. Look at how thick that wood is and how tall that is. That's a dwarf tree. They're not supposed to grow like that. This is not normal for a dwarf tree. I prune trees for a living, and I go to people's farms that have trees, and they're putting out 6 to 8 inches of growth a year. Look at this thing. This is nuts, and it's not.
We've had a bizarre year because I'm from Victoria, and I have never seen stuff ever on the island grow like it's growing this year.
Yeah.
Olha, pica este, por exemplo, aqui.
Where you? She's asking about pruning. Everybody hear me? Pruning is an art form. It is not a science. And the only culture in the world who's mastered pruning, who knows how to prune, are the Japanese. No other culture knows how to prune. And everywhere you go in the world, and you see trees pruned, you see everything hacked off on the ends, all kinds of stump in your face, and they're ugly. The Japanese don't do that. They get into the inside of the tree and they work from the inside out. They open it up and they arrange everything in place, and it looks totally awesome because that's the design. When you think about the order of nature, how does the Creator work with us? From the inside out. I'm seeing these principles in nature are in everything. It's totally awesome, And pruning is the beauty about pruning. Here's something I want to show you about pruning. This is something in all books you get on pruning. They tell you never cut the collar. You follow me? The collar is this line. You see a branch coming off here? You see this line right next to it? Okay. That's the collar. And they tell you never cut the collar. Are you following me? And every place you've seen where they cut beyond the collar, you get this little stump with all kinds of suckers growing out of it, and then the collar can't grow over the stump, and it rots underneath it. You have a cavity. I want you to notice in my tree. Well, first of all, let me tell you what the Creator told me. He's got a sense of humor. It's hilarious. I say, now God, where do I make my cuts? He says, I made a line, cut to the line. He made it so easy. And let me show you what happens. You see all the places here where I cut to the line. You see how incredibly they heal? Look close. You see all these places I cut. There's no cavity. Everything is totally healed because the collar grows over the cut. And it's totally awesome. Look at that tree over there. You can see all of the branches. See all those little places I had branches. You can see where it's totally healed beautifully. No cavities. I'm telling you, man, I love it. I made a line. Cut to the line. It's so easy.
So why is that soil different over there?
That soil is different over there because it's screened.
Okay.
Here's what I say: as you get older, convenience makes sense. You see here as I move this, you see below, it looks like that. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking this stuff and I'm screening it, and I take the fine stuff and put there so I can plant right in it. I have to take a rake and pull it back, and it's totally accessible. I put the heavy stuff out here. So that's all wood chips, but it's all screened. So seeds are directly available. I can put right in it, so it makes it really, really easy. Did you find a beet you like? There's red ones and yellow ones, orange ones. So I want you. You don't have to do it on your way out today. You pick one and you take it home and eat it. And the greens are awesome. The greens are really good. You can see the density of my beets. You see they're not thin. You can see in wood chips the ground is so soft they just push themselves out of each other's way. You don't have to thin. So let me show you about grafting. You see this tree right here? This is a pear tree. And you can see the pears on it. You see this branch right here? You can see the leaves are different than all the rest. You see that black tape right there? I grafted that. You see right over here? There's another one. That's coming on later. So how you do it, everybody listen to me, this is real important. The only living part of the tree is a cambium layer below the bark, the green. The center of the tree is not living. It's there for support, but it's not living. That's why you see trees with cavities, great big holes in the center, growing just fine, because the cambium is intact and it's feeding everything. So what you want to make sure is that what you're grafting into and grafting with are the same diameter. Okay? So what you do is you take your saw and you cut off what you want to graft into just straight across, and you take your pruner, hand pruner, and split it in the center. Cut it. Then you take what you're grafting with and you cut an angle like this. You take your hand like this, you cut it, and so you slide it into that opening. And here's the beauty of tape: as you wrap with the tape, you pull everything into alignment so they connect. Because this wrap with the tape, it's going to make it immovable, so it's not going to change. Because this wrap with the tape, it keeps all the air out so it doesn't dry, and because it's black when the sun hits it, it gets warm and heals quicker. I'm loving God. And he told me it was so cool. He says, make sure you buy the cheap stuff from Taiwan because it stretches. The good U.S. electrical tape won't stretch. And you want to stretch. So I love this. It's so easy. All you need is a roll of black tape and a pruning graft all day long.
So you just, same thing, just cut it out.
Yeah. And here's the timing is critical. You cut the cyanwood, what you want to graft with, in the winter when it's dormant. And then when the sap starts coming into the tree, you start seeing the buds swell, that's when you plug it in.
Wow.
Very important, the timing. But I love this, man. It's just,
Yeah, say that again.
you cut the wood you want to use for grafting in the winter when the tree's dormant. No leaves, all the sap's out, it's taking a nap.
So you're cutting the
The piece you want to graft, this piece here I want to graft with, and then you keep it in a cool place, and then in the spring, as soon as you start seeing the buds swell, you see the sap coming in, plug it in. And here's what's cool. You're walking around and you're seeing in your orchard all these leaves and just stick here. This one here was hilarious because this took forever to take. And I'm spring I'm watching, is this going to take? But I'm thinking, I'll just wait. And sure enough, but it took forever. But this came on quicker. But all of a sudden you come out one day and there's little buds. It's there, and we're good, you know. Wow. And you see right over there where Nick is, you see that graft there? You look at all the fruit. That's just 1 year's graft. This is the second year. Look how nice that's healed in, and look at all the fruit on it.
You know, when you prune, you can sell your excess.
Sell my excess pruning?
Yes, people want your tree branches.
Oh well, they're welcome to it. Yeah, you can have it all. Oh, this is so cool. I love this. Yay, God! Does anybody here not like asparagus? Is anybody here can be expressive? Like really explain what you're going through here. Because you're going to get the most incredible sensation you've ever had in your life. Where's that lady who has a hard time with irrigation? Lives in a place where it has drip irrigation and things aren't growing well because there's no water. Come here. Bring her here. I want her here because I want to give her something. Come here. I have something for you. This is July, and this is not when asparagus is available.
Oh, it's supposed to be springtime.
Yeah. And this is without irrigation, and this blew in here by a seed. Now you know from experience that this is going to be tough and stringy. I want you to start there and eat your way back and talk to us, and be very expressive, very, very honest.
juicy and tender. There's a little bit of fibrous stuff on the outside, but the rest of it, you can see the juice coming out of it.
Water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep eating it. Now, would you cook that?
Absolutely.
You would.
You'd cook it?
I would. I'd steam it.
Oh.
But I would.
You just like cooked food. I like things that, you know, when you cook food, it's not the same. It's soft. It's mushy. You know, it's not.
That was a trick question.
No, I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Okay.
I would steam it, just barely though,
Okay, just to warm it up,
just so you didn't.
not to soften it because it's not tough.
No, I don't like to soften it anyway. I like it crispy.
Do you eat everything raw?
As much as I can, I eat the potatoes and some of the winter squash stuff I cook, but as much as I can eat raw, because you see, when you cook food, you kill enzymes. Enzymes are what cause it to digest and feed your body, which is really important. Here's the irony of how intelligent beings don't think. My food has no shelf life. I could pick my lettuce, and in minutes it's wilting. In minutes. I had a guy come here on a tour, and I gave him celery. Celery is stiff. In a half hour, it totally wilted over his arm. He couldn't believe it. You can go to the store and pay top dollar for vegetables that sit on that shelf for a whole week and never change. You know why? They have no enzymes. There's no enzymes present. See, enzymes are created in produce to either give nutrition to the body or turn it back to dirt on the ground. That's their purpose. They're wanting to break it down. And when you have food sit on the shelf for a week in the store and not change, it's telling you, I'm dead. There's no life force here.
So do you put this food up for the winter?
No, I eat everything. I have live food all winter. That kale feeds me all winter. That kale, all winter long I eat kale. And I have cilantro. And I have beets and carrots, root vegetables. And I have potatoes. I store those in boxes, but they're good. So I have live food the whole year. And people always ask, how do you eat in the wintertime? Well, what do animals do in the winter? I mean, the bear takes a nap, but all the rest eat all winter. In Alaska, at 40 below zero, the animals are eating because the ground's covered and nothing dies. But on everybody's farm next to nature, with exposed ground, everything freezes and dies. I mean, it's so basic, it's so simple. And how we keep creating all this stuff that's hard and unrealistic because we got lied to and we're doing stupid things.
Well, that's all I have for this video. Bang around that bell icon if you want to be notified when new videos come out. Call us on the hotline if you have comments or questions and want to be featured in an upcoming video. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Check us out on the website, and we'll see you guys on the next one.